All right.
I'm good. I'm gonna go catch up on some reports, all right?
All right.
Okie dokie. Chatterino, let's get into some reports. Kind of feeling like some... Give me some like... Who's this? Hi, Dad. We'll be around tomorrow. So, yes. Tomorrow's actually no, I won't, because I'm out in the morning, and then we got D&D tomorrow with Ziggy. Let me call her. I'm going to
Hi,
sell.
Dad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm okay. How are you? How you feeling?
I'm okay. I got discharged from the ICU last night. As long as I, am careful, I'm on light duty at the hospital. I can walk slowly. I get winded, so I just have to kind of, sit and rest and not do too much. And I just have to be careful not to pop my stitches. But the EKG came back okay today. So, and they just asked that I come in once a week to double check and make sure that my heart is still up to speed. So,
All right, that's good.
yeah. And I talked to Naya about a possible skin graft for my back. So maybe, um, yeah.
Yeah. What's happening tomorrow? Because I don't know whether I'm gonna be around.
That's okay. Well, it's going to be a little silly. Hold on a second. Let me get away from people. Hmm. I have a surprise planned uh for Sean. Um, because honestly, laying in that bed, realizing how close I was to dying just days ago, um, yeah, uh, it's kind of put things into perspective. You know, mm, time is precious and life is short. So I was just wondering. I have something planned. It'll be like shortly after the start of the AU storm, so I know that's incredibly early for you. But
Yeah, I'm not gonna be here. I do.
yeah.
It's not like I'm not gonna be awake, because I would wake up early, but it's like I've got something on. So
No, yeah, I figured it, yeah. That's why I wanted to ask. It's okay. But I just thought I'd ask just in case. But yeah. Yeah. All right. So I'm trying to not spoil the surprise. So I'll
okay.
yeah.
Don't
But
push yourself
how are
too
you?
hard.
Yeah. I mean, it's been dead all night at the hospital. Honestly, I'm pretty much just like making free money as it is. So there's barely been anybody coming through, and I've got Echo here with me, so she's helping people to their feet, so I don't have to, and no lifting, no surgeries. So
And you haven't had any
yeah.
more visits from anybody?
Um, about that. Uh, there was an incident. I don't know if it's just my paranoia or what, but Shang made a point to come in earlier this evening, claiming that he needed a checkup, and he was barely injured at all. And he just kind of he stood and stared at Echo and I, and he left. So I don't know why, but yeah. I was up and about a little bit yesterday, but I was not looking like myself. I was dressed up like my friend Naya, so they wouldn't have recognized me. But today I'm as myself. So and at first I thought it was just me being paranoid, but then Echo made a comment. So clearly it wasn't just us to me because I didn't say anything. And then she said it, and I was like, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. So I don't know if it's just that they are, I don't know, trying to be a show of force or letting me know that they know where I am. I mean, it's not like I'm hiding currently at the moment. I just wish that they would, I don't know, leave me alone.
Yeah. Um.
But
hmm,
I also know that I think Larry is the one who has my case. I talked to Loki last night about my because I had forgotten that they had uh, when they took my phone, they also took my handgun, my legal firearm, my wrench, and my knuckle dusters too. I just didn't notice it until after I had come off the painkillers a little bit, like a day or two later. So Sean called it in, but Loki said that it wasn't on the report. So,
Classic.
I don't know if Larry has, like, a separate report or what, but I don't
Hmm.
know. I don't feel very, I feel kind of uneasy about that because, like, already things are going not done, and I I really want them to pay for what they did to me because Max and Siobhan didn't pay for what they did to me. First did not pay for what he did to me, and it's like uh, people just continuously are getting away with. Yeah, I don't know. Do you think we can trust? I mean, Larry's work. I mean, I
Well, like I said, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna request that multiple people are working the case, so whether or not we can
okay.
trust it, is irregardless if there's multiple people on the case because they can hold each other accountable, right?
I appreciate that, Dad. Thank you. I just don't want things to keep happening to me and people getting away with it. It's not right,
Yes.
especially not at this level. You know, it's like stalking is one thing, harassment, you know, I mean, yeah, they tried to have me killed, but it didn't actually ever happen. But this is I almost died. And I can't. look in the mirror without yeah.
Just
I
if
just
they make any more contact or anything, let the police know. You should probably let them know about, let Larry know or one of them know about what Shang was doing. Just let them
okay.
know about anything that happens, even if it's you think it might be nothing. Just let them know anyway. Nikita, thank
Do
you for
you
the
think he
raid.
documented when they were outside of the hospital the other day?
No idea. I generally don't know.
Okay. And Sean said something about you were interrogated. What was that?
No, just questioned to try and get an understanding of the case. You know,
Okay.
the background as to why it might be personal. And why they might be coming after, with the 911 and everything. Why is
Right.
that? Why
Okay.
was I mentioned? That kind of thing. So
Gotcha.
he just wanted some history, and I gave it to him. I gave him everything.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm fine. I spoke to Ziggy the other night. So I
How
think
did that
after
go?
it's he's a
That
I think he's a ship in the ocean with no wind in his sails, and all he has is the club on board who are trying to paddle him in one direction and not really giving him any other choice. So either he stays on board or he jumps off and risks drowning.
I'm just worried. I haven't heard from him since I talked to him the other day. I mean, I've texted with Flop and he came in for treatment, so and he's still speaking to me, so that's good. Although his text message said to specified to update him about my recovery, but that's pretty much it. So I don't know. I'm worried that we're going to lose them. And I don't know how to let them go. But at the same time, I also can't understand how they can even be remotely okay with what happened to me and still want to associate with the people that did it. Ziggy wanted to murder Max for what he did, and this is a million times worse. Why is it okay now? And why am I a bad person for asking? for the people that I love to be upset that I was almost killed. I'm sorry,
No, no. You're not a bad person.
apparently I am. I'm
According to who?
manipulative and guilt tripping and gaslighting.
Has this been said since, or is this what was said on
No,
Cassidy Trail?
it's what Irish said, but clearly he didn't say that. One or all of them must have gone to him saying something along those lines at some point, multiple times over months, because he says it's all he's heard for months. So have my own brothers been accusing me of this? Do they not realize that by doing that, they were complicit in what happened to me? Does
For
Matt
what?
know?
I don't think he knows. And for what it's worth, I think Ziggy knows he's at fault to some extent.
I wish he had never joined the club.
So do I.
We would still be all one big happy family if he had never joined them.
Ziggy thinks his choice was removed by Sean when he did what he did to you. But he removed his own choice when he joined the club.
And it's exactly what we warned him of that day. We literally stood there. Even Matt said it. There will come a day when you may hurt one of us. And he promised us that it would be the family over them. He lied to us all. We told him months ago that this would happen. And he swore that he would choose us over them. But he's not.
I don't think he has a choice anymore. If he chooses us, then he's a dead man.
So we have to let him go to save his life. Is that what you're saying?
Unless we figure out a miracle, then yeah, I think so.
I started to hyperventilate the minute that I saw Shane. I can't. I'm trying so hard to even just work at my job, but I don't know how when every time I see them, I'm terrified. You know, when I was talking to Rue in the hospital room, I had made a comment about how two of the most violent of the ADMC were standing outside the doors. And she laughed and said, "You think they're the most violent? Do you know what I'm capable of?" How am I supposed to be comfortable going back home after her saying that and telling me to my face that I deserved exactly what happened to me? That they were justified in mutilating me and almost killing me. How am I supposed to just shrug that off and go, "Hey guys, how are y'all doing? I hope you had a great day." In what world does that make sense?
It doesn't. Well, no, it does. It makes sense in a world where Rue's exactly the person she was before she was adopted, and nothing's changed.
All right, have a good night, B. I will, I promise. Sorry. I don't, I never want to be able to understand. Uh, I just don't. As much as it hurts, I just don't know how I'm going to be able to let them go because they won't let her go. And she scares me. And if she was the way she was with me because she thought that I was talking shit about her father, what is she going to do if we do part ways with them or they with us? There won't be anything holding her back.
Let's not worry about that right now. Because we're not going to get in, you know, our own heads about it.
You're right.
Just focus on feeling better and just take care of yourself, all right?
You too, please.
Okay. And anything,
Do you
get. Well,
do you still intend on doing what you said the other day?
of course.
Giving them what they accused you of?
With all my worth and energy, absolutely.
Good.
Just give me a call if you need me, okay?
I will. I love you.
Love you too. Bye-bye.
Bye, Dad.
Hey,
Hi, Sean.
how you doing?
Hey, not too bad. How are you?
Yeah, I'm here.
You all right? You don't sound okay.
It's a loaded question, but you know, I'm good.
What's going on?
I'm It doesn't matter. What's up with the call?
Oh, it does matter. What's happened?
I mean, I'm good. I'm doing okay. I'm an adult. I'm taking care of myself.
Did something happen? I mean, I'd like to
No,
know, given your sister's, just got out of hospital, so.
I'm safe and I'm good.
Okay, yeah. Well, I was just ringing to, are you aware of everything that's happened with Etcha?
I'm very well and caught up.
Okay. Have you seen her and stuff like that?
I was at the ICU when it happened. Or I guess the day of. So yeah, I've spoken with her.
Okay. You spoken to Ziggy?
Briefly, yeah. I haven't really seen him that often recently, but yeah, I had a brief conversation with him yesterday.
Hey, is that your Granger parked in the ADMC block?
I don't know. I think you know the answer to that.
Which got your plates on it, so.
Yeah. But why are you asking the question?
If you give me the answer.
Well, you know the answer to it. What's the concern?
I don't know. Are you hanging out with him?
Can I ask you a question?
I mean, I did just ask you a question, but she'll go ahead.
Leading up to this point in this question, we haven't had a face-to-face conversation in over a month. There hasn't been a figure in my life in over a month. And this is the concern right now. This is the time we're going to ask this question.
What's your point exactly?
I should be asking you that question. What's the point of asking?
What's the point of asking if you're hanging around with ADMC?
You tell me.
Do I need to spell it out? Weren't you a detective?
Yeah, I've been sleeping on someone's couch down here.
Okay. Well, I guess the point of the question is I'm wondering whether you're hanging out with the people that put your sister in the hospital.
And that's the straw that broke the camel's back, Dad. It didn't matter up until this point, right? You needed a reason.
What do you want about? A reason for what?
Just say it. Rip this Band-Aid off and let's get this over with.
What are you on about?
You are also a detective. Dad, I know what you want. I know what you're getting at, and you want me to be the one to say it. Don't sound surprised.
I am surprised because I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. So spit it out.
I'm sleeping down here. I'm in talks with Etta. I've been sleeping down here for weeks. It wasn't a concern. The multiple cars that have been parked down here for weeks were not a concern. The day after everything happens, you're calling to check in. You want to know everything about going on in my life. And now you want to know all of a sudden why my car is parked down here and if I'm hanging out with people. Don't sound surprised.
Listen, I'm no idiot, okay? I've known that you've been doing criminal activity for the past few weeks since our last conversation, right? But from our last conversation, I made my point clear that that was a bad fucking idea, right? And you weren't happy about that, and you made your stroppy little face and you stropped off, right? So I didn't feel like it was my place to push that any further. I was giving you space. If you wanted to reach out, right? So, first of all, I haven't seen your car. I haven't seen you at the ADMC block. So the fact you have been over there, pretty interesting news to me. So, no, this is not me reaching out and the straw that broke the camel's back gotcha moment that you think this is. This is me saying, why the fuck are you hanging out with the torturers that tortured your sister? Answer that question.
Did I ever say?
No. Answer the question without coming up with another question. Answer it. Why are you hanging out with those people?
That is a contradicted question, and you fucking know it.
Answer it. Why are you hanging out with them?
I'm not hanging out with them, Dad. Is that what you want to hear?
Okay. So are you going to continue hanging out with them? Am I going to hear you like going on?
Did I not just say that I'm not hanging out with them?
Okay, fine. Right. That you said that. Are you going to hang out with them in the future?
I'm married to Ziggy, and Rue is my daughter.
I'm not talking about them.
Would you? No.
I'm not talking about them.
Nope. Shut the hell up.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like
Ziggy,
Charlie, for example. I'm talking about like Charlie or anybody else in the club.
Ziggy
or like Finley
is my husband,
down at the Milton's Motors.
And Rue is my daughter.
I'm not talking about your family, okay?
I'm
talking about other. No. I'm talking about other members of ADMC.
Are you gonna listen to me, or are you gonna talk
I'm
over
listening.
me?
I'm listening. I've already made my point. I've already made my point. I've listened and made my point. I'm not talking about your family.
You are talking about my family.
I've already said, I'm not talking about Z. I'm not talking about Rue. I'm talking about the rest of ADMC. It's a big club, son.
Mm-hmm. And you've generalized it by asking me the question, are you hanging out with the ADMC? Why are you hanging out with the ADMC? If it hasn't caught up to you yet, Dad, I am married to the ADMC. I've adopted a daughter out of the ADMC. It very much fucking matters.
Right. Okay. So you're saying that it's impossible for you to stay away from the rest of the club? Is that what you're saying?
I never said that.
Okay, let's ask you a different question. Do you agree with what happened to Etcha?
No.
Okay.
Follow it up with the why.
Do I need to?
I don't think so. Clearly you needed something out of this conversation, though. So let's get it over with.
Sure. Why?
Which part do you want the why for?
Why don't you agree with what happened to Etcha?
Because it wasn't right. It was wrong. Hurting someone else is wrong.
Rue doesn't think that.
So it's not about my family, but now it is?
That's not what I said.
This didn't involve Ziggy and Rue approximately a minute and a half ago.
I was talking about you hanging out with them and being okay with them. I'm saying that your daughter said that what they did was okay. Do you agree with that? You okay with her saying that?
I don't think she said that.
She said that.
To who?
To Etta and Maple.
Were you there?
No. Are you calling them liars?
Yeah. I 100% am.
So if you go and ask Rue right now, if I go and ask Rue right now, whether she thinks that what the club did was justified, she's going to say no.
If you want to shit stir that, go for it. But
It's
I'm going
not
to tell you
shit-stirring,
now.
It's a question.
You're asking me to answer for someone else's fucking life. Here's what I'll tell you. And I know this. She would never hurt the family. And the problem that I have is that I was told to my face that, quote unquote, I've tried. We've tried. We cannot seem to even make the attempt to have any understanding, and we want nothing to do with her. But they were both under the impression that she would harm the family. So to answer your question, put simply, Dad, they never knew who the fuck she was because they never gave her a chance. Just like you're not giving her a chance.
I've given her plenty
doesn't
of
matter.
chances.
Yeah, so is fucking everybody, and I'm the fucking Pope too. So let's keep that rolling.
What is this going to do with you?
What does what have to do with me?
What that comment? I'm the Pope too. What's this got to do with you? You got something you want to say yet?
Sounds like you have a lot you got to say. I've said my piece. I said my piece about a month and a half ago. I've been trying for as long as I could remember to do everything in my power to try and communicate and talk with people, and so has everyone else.
That's pretty interesting thing to say. Considering
No. I'm not asking for the contradictions here. This is what I'm telling you. This is no longer a conversation. This is no longer a back and forth. This is what I'm telling you. The day I left, the day I left the police department, do you know how many times anyone in the family communicated with me? I'll save you the trouble. 0. I had a conversation with you in person. The next time you called me, it was because my life may have been in danger. The day after everything happened with Etta, you're calling me now? Interesting timing.
So when you left the police department, I remind you that I had been in the hospital, and you left.
How are your doctor visits going?
And you left the police department.
No. How are your doctor visits going?
Lying, saying that you were doing it to take care of me, which was a lie. I remind you of that.
I'm going to remind you that my intended purpose was to take care of you. And the person that pushed me away was my fucking father. So I don't want to hear it.
But you lied to the police department when you had reached out to me 0 times to take care of me. So
how do I reach out to a man who has a tube in his fucking throat?
But you still lied to the rest of the police department about it.
If you're going to call me a liar, then you never knew who the hell I was to begin with. And say it to my face if you really want to fucking say it.
Listen, what I'm talking about facts here. I'm talking about facts.
The fact of the matter is that I had post-traumatic stress in the ICU room because ICU room number 3 had a dead person in it while you were still laying in the room. I well and aware know why I left. The problem is that you're too naive to realize that I had a reason to leave and I had a medical reason to leave. And if you would like to know the question of that, Pixie Plum also has the fucking medical report for the therapy session I had to go to. I still can't walk in the fucking ICU room. So if you're gonna call me a liar, call me a fucking liar. How are those doctor visits going?
I haven't been. What's that gonna do with
shit.
anything? What's that gonna do with anything?
I don't know. Oxygen to the brain seems to be pretty important to be in a position that you're in.
Elaborate.
There's nothing to elaborate on. You knew you had to go to those doctor visits.
No, about the position that I'm in. Go on. You say oxygen to the brain is pretty important about the position I'm in.
You're in a position to make difficult decisions that require good judgment.
Right.
End of story. Marshals, police department, lawyer, judge, mayor. Any position that requires critical thinking needs oxygen to the brain.
You have concerns about my judgment?
I've had concerns about your judgment.
Have you gone to my boss about that?
No. Just like the reason I didn't go on your boss is because I want you to live your fucking life. Just like I want you to let me live my fucking life.
Have you been talking about to members of ADMC about members of about my judgment?
No.
You sure?
You want to tell me otherwise?
Well, someone's been talking to ADMC about myself and Etta guilt tripping and what ifs for a very long time, because that was one of the reasons that Etta got attacked. Was that Ziggy, Rue, or you?
I don't know what you want from me.
Answer the question.
I'm not in a fucking interrogation room. Would you like to Mirandize me while you're at it?
Listen, answer the question. Was it Ziggy, Rue, or you that was talking to Sean about all of our family problems?
Talking to Sean?
Yep.
Maple?
No. Irish.
Oh.
The person that called victim into your sister's back. You know, the one that tortured her, stabbed her, that one.
Uh-huh.
So who was it that was, you know, gossiping?
I don't know, Dad. It wasn't me.
Wasn't.
Have you tried communicating with the rest of the fucking family?
I've already spoken to Ziggy.
What did he say?
He said he's spoken to Sean about it. I just wanted to know if you had to.
No. So you know it was Ziggy, apparently. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I know Ziggy is one of the people. Sure.
One of the people. Great. You just asked me, I need to know, was it you, Ziggy, or Rue? Sounds like you have your fucking answer.
It sounds like there's been a lot of pent-up resentment. So if you've been hanging out with these people, it really wouldn't surprise me if you've been bitching behind our backs.
Nothing in my life means more to me than my family. But the moment the family pushes me away and you expect me to come running back because, oh, poor me. Let me remind you, by the way, that you're lucky that we're even having this phone call, not for your own sake, but let me remind you that approximately 2 months ago, month and a half ago, we'll say, I should have died on a mountain. I shouldn't be here right now. I told you I wanted to be happy in my life. The biggest mistake I ever made was pulling through in the ICU. My apologies.
Is crime making you happy now?
My life has never been fucking better.
With your sister in hospital? Is that making you happy?
No.
Because your husband's gang put her there? Is that making you happy?
Can you say it already so we can get this over with? It's been 20 minutes, Dad.
Say what? What are you expecting me to say?
What are you expecting me to say?
I don't know, because the conversation I had with Ziggy was different. I'll put it that way.
How am I supposed to feel? How am I supposed to feel?
You don't sound very sad about Etcher, I'll be honest.
You're trying to guilt trip me into having some sort of an emotional feel. I'm sorry that I'm not being pulled by the strings that you're trying to fucking pull. That ship sailed a month and a half ago.
I'm not trying to guilt trip you at all, mate.
No, you are.
I'm not trying to guilt trip
you care about my emotional state in all of this. I'm not happy about what the fuck happened. I'm against what the fuck happened. I've already said that. But it doesn't involve Ziggy and Rue. Now it's Ziggy's gang. Now it's Rue's gang. It always involved them, and you fucking know it. Do not ever put blame on them.
Don't put blame on them and their gang.
You know what the problem is, Dad? You know what the problem I've been dealing with is? I have been trying to individualize the people that I love in my life for who they are. And as long as I was a cop, I individualized people for who the fuck they were. And the one thing that always seems to trickle down to the bottom is what people are. It doesn't matter who they are. And I know people could turn around, and I know you'll probably turn around and say, well, what they are makes who they are. Who someone is matters. I love my family. I have always loved my family.
Classic. Classic, dude. The spice got too much. Feels like Flops just lied to it through his fucking teeth, man. And Dark knows it. So, Monka W music. Monka. The song was they were playing. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember what fucking playlist I had on. I started off with something sad, and then I was like, nope, this is getting pretty intense. Time to put something else on. Fuck. Come on, bro. Fuck. Bastard. I overspiced the server, yeah. It's could that be? Spicy. Spicy, spicy. The downfall of the Dark Roads family. Witness live in 4K. Well, 936p specifically. New title. Listen, if Dark finds Flop hanging out, well, Dark's gonna make this point if he gets the chance to, but actually, I'm gonna save it. I wish Matt was around, dude. I wish he was around. Flop is like, after that conversation at Mirror Park, he's like, leave me alone, Dad. I just want to do crime. Also, Flop. Dad, give me attention, Dad. You haven't called me for weeks, Dad. What do you want me to do? Is this what having a child's gonna be like? Is this what I have coming in 14 years? 14 to 18 years? Fuck. This is just prep. Thanks, Chris.